Might as well. I am shameless with my promotion. Alright, no. Alright. Let's get this shit poppin'. Let's get this shit poppin', son. I think this music is too depressing. It's gotten me thinking how I'm 25. No, I'm not a kid anymore. Let's fix that. Hold on. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Alright, cool. So alright. I like this. Alright. Makes me feel like I'm working towards something. Alright. I can't get used to Clip Studio, man. This is the best I can do, but at the same time, I feel like I should have done traditional with this. Okay, so this is a sick day. Day 2. Sorry. Sick day, day 2. Alright. I thought I was going to have a regular work day. I thought things were back up to business, but I came to a disturbing revelation. I have pink eye. I'm not sure where it came from. Probably it came from one of the kids, or I don't know. I have this, I don't know, gross habit of like, I don't know. I would literally just, in the bathroom, basically, press one side of my nose and just blow it with no tissues, because I thought that maybe for some stupid reason that would help me breathe through my nose again, because like my nose has been crazy congested. And I wanted to. I just want to breathe through my nose again. I'm not gonna lie to you. And went to the doctor. Turns out I'm gonna have to basically put in like 4 eye drops throughout the day. Throughout, I think, a couple times throughout the day. And I'm probably not gonna get back into work until like Friday, which is gonna fuck up my paycheck, which is just lame. Who knows, I might get PTO for Wednesday and Thursday too. So it won't be that bad. Who knows? Maybe I'll get paid for staying inside and doing nothing. A taste of the high life. Let's keep working. by the way, this is the first page. So, you know what? After I finish a panel, could be any panel, I could probably just move on to the, Jesus. Just to move on to the, others. Take away the ridges. Okay. Hopefully they won't have most of their attention on these guys. not in the hot kind of way. No, there's no, there's no hot, thick, thick woman, riding me until I see the stars. Nah, it's just me. Looking for jobs on LinkedIn again, on Indeed again, and going through. Oh boy. I hope that's not the case, because Jesus. This job market sucks. Like, really. It's bad. And I hope it's not like this in the summertime, because I don't know, lately my immune system has just been lacking, dude. It has been failing me. Recently, I've been getting into Robert Glover. He's the guy behind No More Mr. Nice Guy. And I agree with like almost everything he says about relationships, except for ships. I think there's this one advice that he talks about where it's like, he's like, choose the chick who chooses you. It's like, why do you the thing about guys, the one thing that movies have us like, like movies are like the worst things, are the worst places to go when it comes to, say, like advice for relationships. Like, for example, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, he is a man with obvious mental disabilities, People have often called him stupid. But he has gone on to live a brilliant life. He is he's a war hero. 2, he managed to somehow build a thriving shrimp business. And 3, he essentially, he jogged on the death of his mother, or the passing, I don't want to say death. Death's a bit too, George Carlin might have been right about, it's like we use softer words, but I feel like, yeah, but at the same time, it's like we use softer words for a reason. It's like, I feel like life can be a bit brutal, and sometimes you need to have at least some sugar so that the motherfucker, no one cares. No one cares. Sorry about that. Oh. He created a following. But the one thing that he insanely fucked up at was love. Like, he's this brilliant man who lived this amazing, profound life. But the one thing that he fucked up at was his relationship to Jenny. It's like, first off, Jenny was one of the first people, like, Jenny, it's obvious Jenny doesn't like him, right? Like, it's obvious that Jenny doesn't give two shits about him. It's like she's like one of the first few people to essentially call Forrest stupid. Secondly, around every turn, like she essentially abandons Forrest for something else. It's like at the at Vietnam, it's like, hey, I know you. It's like that Family Guy skit. It's like, I know you care about me and I know you love me, but you know, I'm gonna stick with my abusive boyfriend and do coke, and may possibly have a freeway with some Black Panthers, and the next thing you know, it's like, you know, he tries again. And it's like she ditches him again to basically do coke and get banged by some, you know, corrupt stockbrokers. And then right when like she's at her lowest, when, you know, she has like an incurable disease, where essentially no man wants to go near her with a five foot pole. Then she goes to Forrest. And that's just like, it's like, god damn, man. It's like, I feel like we always like, we settle for the shit that we can get. And that, okay, that's kind of like, you know, practical. Because, you know, it's like, hey, life's not a Disney movie. You're not going to get, you know, your true love, you know, you're not going to get, you know, the fairy tale chick, you know, where it's like, hey, she's sweet and kind and sensitive. She's sweet, kind, and sensitive and faithful to you. She laughs at your jokes. Folks, she's a great mom, and hey, she's also open to it. Like, no. That's not what happens. And sometimes we're going to have to settle with, you know. But I feel like if we just keep on, like, letting ourselves settle for being some woman's plan B, we're always going to keep hitting the same wall where we feel unfulfilled or unloved in our own relationships, like physically and like emotionally. And that's not exactly cool. I feel like men do that a lot. And I feel like what a lot of men, including myself, are missing is essentially just confidence to basically just, you know, get out there and actually try things that we like to do. And, you know, it's like, not care what people think. It's like, hey, you know, that's stupid. You like this, that, and the third? That's stupid. It's like, okay, fuck you. Who cares? It's like we care so much what people think because we're brought up to care. Because we were brought up in an education program that is consisted of mostly of like female teachers. And granted, I think I am a part of the problem when it comes to stuff like this, because like, you know, it's like boys, they need time to like, you know, run, and you know, they have all this energy, and yet we're always trying to get them to sit the fuck down. And in the back of my mind is like, that we shouldn't be doing. It's like, I don't know, this seems unaffected, but at the same time, it's like, you know. Also, I feel like we have a knack for taking advice that's just bad for us. Like on both ends, you know, it's like we get bad advice, like, you know, like from like the Andrew Tate side, where it's like, oh, you know, women are objects, top G. And then, you know, you got the, oh, be yourself, don't be insecure, like, respect women. It's like, I'm not saying respecting women is bad advice. I'm just saying it's like, it doesn't exactly hit the heart of like what needs to be done if we're gonna solve this male loneliness epidemic. You know? uh, I feel like one big thing is finding out what we're good at. Because I feel like that's magical, you know? Like, if I ever take a woman, no, when, I gotta believe in myself. When I take a woman on a date, I'm gonna take her to paint and sip. That's my secret. You know what? I'm gonna wait till like I'll buy some drinks. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a gentleman. And when she needs to go to the little girl's room, that's while she's gone, I'll bust it out. You know, just like I'll get the paint strokes in. You know what I'm saying? Do my make the best painting I can make the best drawing I can make, and the next thing you know, they'll have like all the ladies at the paint and sip, because like mostly women go to paint and sips, and be like, oh my god, you're so good, that's so amazing. And basically have like just women just crowding me over the painting that I made. It's like, of course, ladies, thank you, ladies. Because I like it's just practice, it's just practice. Be humble about it, and the next thing you know, she sees me just humble bragging, making the chicks laugh, and that's when that that interest sparks up. You know what I'm saying? That's the game. And then she's like, she goes like, well, what's going on here? It's like, it's just ladies complimenting. Just it's nothing. Ladies want to talk about my painting. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing it. Fresh haircut, nice shape up with the beard, mustache, clean mustache, smelling good. You know what I'm saying? Because chicks like to be around a guy that smells good. You know what I'm saying? Get that interest up. Ooh. And then when the paint... Who knows? Oh, what if I get one of the ladies to ask me for advice? And then she kind of uses that as an underhanded flirting technique. Dude, I'm already in. It's like, ladies. Calm down, if you're on a date. Basically just afterwards, after the paint and sip's over, it's like she can comment on my painting skills, and it's like, hey, maybe I can give you some private classes, or like, hey, maybe you could I could make a painting of you, for artistic purposes. Just like get that second date going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you find out what you're good at, and you impress a chick with it, dude, I've never had a girlfriend before, but I'm willing to bet that will get me some. I'm willing to bet that that'll get me out of Virgin Manor, if you know what I'm talking about. Eh? 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 I'm being immature. But yeah, no. I feel like I just need to, you know, I need to find enough confidence to do it. Because I'm scared. I'm scared to put myself out there. I'm scared to basically, it's like, because I hear so many dating horror stories. It's like, oh my god, the painting's so good. It's like, oh, it's nothing. Just practice. It's just practice type shit. Oh. Man, I feel old already. Because this feels like I'm what they call an elder Gen Z. Me getting called an elder anything is just, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, ladies, just practice. Maybe I can even impress a woman on I don't know. I feel like I need to develop my personality. I need to develop my sense of humor. Because if that's the case, because like I feel like drawing is the only thing that makes me interesting, which is sad. And I know that every human being has something inherent to them. But if I lose my arm, I'm gonna have to go back to college. I'm gonna have to learn a new skill. Like, I don't know. Fuck him. I hope this doesn't affect my plans later on. Me being sick thing. Yeah, like I didn't. It's not my fault that I got pink. I don't know. Maybe it is my fault. Honestly, that's the first thing. That's the first thing I'm gonna do when I forget it. It's like, hey, let's go with paint and sip. My treat. You know what I'm saying? My treat. It's like, yeah. It's like I'm never gonna show you what I do. I hope at this point she doesn't know that I draw a lot. She's not supposed to know. That's what makes this surprise amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I had to. It's like when she talks about it. It's like, well, I had we get some food afterwards. Well, it's like I had to. I had to find, like, I'd be like, well, how else was I supposed to impress you? And then it's like that could be like a form of flirting. Like, how else am I supposed to impress you? Like, you're super hot, and I'm not super hot. I'm like, okay, this is the only part. I know it's like this is the only part of me that's like that I can flaunt. And then maybe here's one thing that Robert Glover says: if you can get someone to do something for you that you can do all by yourself, it will endear you to them. And that's what I would like to do. I'd like to basically get this girl to buy me a can of ginger ale. It's like $2.75. It's not too costly. And then when she does that, I'll be like, "Oh my God, for me? Oh, you shouldn't have." She probably do this to all the guys you date. Don't think this is gonna get you any. I'm not a whore, unless you want me to be. Like, hey, that could be like a. That could be a good That could be a good way of flirting. That's a way to get that's some decent game. But, sorry. Probably do that for all your boyfriends. All your little boyfriends, don't you? Boyfriends, don't tell mommy. You think this on. I'm never gonna be done with this fucking page, aren't I? God damn it. This damn page, dude. Why'd I have to make it so awesomely detailed? Oh. Sorry about that. Just looking for some stuff. Hopefully this is... Come on. How's the lighting work in this? I'm also gonna have to also go for some dancing classes. Gotta learn how to lead better, because I suck at that. It's a good thing she was drunk. It was probably never gonna happen. I was happy it happened though, man. She liked, I don't know. She probably didn't like me. But hey, she approached me instead of my cousin, meaning that I have some handsomeness within me, I think. Must have been the coat. It made my shoulders look way more broader than they are. How about this? Maybe I can like put a smoke. Put some smoke. That could probably work. You know what? Let's finish these two first and then... Yeah, let's finish these two first. art's not clean. Man, come on. Keep working.
Hit pause on whatever you're listening to.
Hit pause on my mom. Hit pause on my. Hit, hit unpause on these balls in your mom's mouth. Fuck you. No one asked for your ads. Your corny ass ads. But I have to draw some more hands. Turn that into content. No. of course, don't come off too. No, no. Man. Why, thank you. Why? I break promises all the time in here. You know what? What matters is that I'm consistent. I'm consistent. Fuck you. I'm gonna move on to this. On to this now, and then I'll come back. This is my stream. You can't do shit about it. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go for an eye drop break. Gonna put some eye drops in my my eye for a pink eye. to it. Working. Yeah. Oh. Hey there, Broken Blade. How's it going, man? Can you hear me? Come on. Yeah. I hope I do. I don't know, it's strange to say, but I'd like to get back to my job. You know, I feel like, you know, sorry, being cooped up in here. You know what I'm saying? Not having a job, it. Oh, can you hear me now? It kind of reminds me of like my unemployed days. And staying inside, not doing anything. I mean, I didn't have a job, so all I did was walk in the park. And it was just, you know, it was not fun. And I don't know, I'm afraid that if I take too many sick days, that that they might just be permanent. I know how irrational of a fear that is, but, you know, I just don't want to be unemployed again. Alright. You know, just I also don't want to go back to being broke. Being broke's lame. You got no mo. You can't do anything with your money. What if you have no money? You can't go places. You can't, you know. You can't have fun. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like being broke. Oh, you know what? Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna close the door. All right. Okay, so here's what's happening. Okay, so basically, you've been fired for all sorts of reasons. Okay, so I haven't had a lot of say experience when it came to you know the job market, but I have been let go. Okay, so I mean I might take the time to talk about like my shit jobs. Okay, so you think my relationship stories were bad? Man. Okay. Well, I'll share I'll share one of mine. Okay, so basically, this was around a job in Brooklyn, right? So it was the first week. You know, my parents were in DR, and I was at home. The reason why is because my grandmother recently passed away, and I just got this job, and yeah, I really wanted to be there for my family, but I also wanted to get a head start on this job. And so, like a fucking idiot, I chose the job. And a week later, after getting paid once, they laid me off. And I do have to say this. to the manager of that Brooklyn after school program. May she rest in yes. She was a tiny Dominican woman, but she had like all of this love inside her that she just that impacted many lives. May she rest in peace. Yeah. Laid me off. And Tony, the manager, if you can hear this, you're obviously not watching, but if you can hear this, eat a dick. Find the most diseased, most unirrationally giant male sex organ and just inhale it. Is what I'd say to my manager who laid me off. Just inhale it. Inhale a phallus. But another one. Okay, so basically I was 22, I think. And I was also unemployed at that time. And I decided, fuck it. On like a youth employment program, you know, I go back to SYEP, right? And essentially, I did SYEP. Like the SYEP that I got, like the marketing internship, quote unquote, that I got. I'm pretty sure it was for like a pyramid scheme or like an MLM. It was the shittiest job I've ever been in. We don't even get the office. We didn't even get an office. We just get like we get a stuffy room, right? Not a stuffy. I think like a hot, smelling room that had like one air conditioner, and we'd all sit inside, and we'd all do some kind of like just busy work. And what happened was essentially I had to show up very early. Not earlier than my peers, but I had to show up like very early every day. And one time, I kind of I kind of drifted off, and I was told to go home, and I was like, "What? No!" I fell asleep on the job once. I was a bit tired, but you know, it's like it won't happen again. Just let me stay here. Let me make my hours. And they were like, "No, go home." And I was like, "It's like, yeah, fuck this job. I don't want to be here anyway." So basically, like they couldn't just like let it slide, like which is wild, because essentially it's like it doesn't matter like what job or how I feel about any job. Like one thing that I would do is I would show up every day and do everything I was asked without complaining, without without insulting them, you know. And I fuck up once, and I go home. I mean, needless to say, that the last day of my job, I just didn't show up. Fuck them. Fuck them. And another one. I don't think I. What's another bullshit job? I don't know. I have my working experience. I don't have a lot of working experiences when it comes to, you know, when it comes to this. factory. Okay, so you worked a job a few years back for a foam factory. They made cushions. You worked the baler, which is basically a compactor and has a huge metal plate that mashed down wasted foam. Okay. Sorry. What happened? Hold up. No, no. Hopefully it's You know, I think I also remember I'm gonna have to wake up early, wake up and go to the clinic that I went to, and get some more forms, and then I see the direct quote from your boss. Damn. I mean, I don't know. It's yeah, no. Kind of sucks, especially with such a mindless job. Oh, son of a. Well. Ooh. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, it's like, couldn't that job just be automated away? And now, damn. That sucked. Sorry about that, man. Yeah. Sorry. Well, why is I apologizing for coughing? Man, one thing I do remember. I don't remember what I said. I mean, I don't know. That does suck, but at the same time, I think you getting fired from that job is from the best. I don't know. I feel like that was like just like a human like a human safety violation, like a worker safety violation waiting to happen. Like imagine like you got your hand crushed by that baler, right? Not to mention it was like a soulless like it was a mindless job. Like no cognitive ability whatsoever. Honestly, it's like I feel like a robot could have done that job. But I mean, got another crappy job story. Well, hold on. Okay, wait. I don't think this is a crappy job story, but okay. So keep in mind that I come from a mostly blue collar family of immigrants. All right, so one time during my college years, during the summer, my mom wanted me to finally just go out there and get a job. Uh, okay, aluminum foundry. His entire factory was covered in years worth of dust. Damn, years. Did you get any workers' comp? Okay, so a shard of a piece of aluminum hits your eye. Did you get any workers' comp? Please tell me you got workers' comp. Please, dude. Because they will take advantage of you if you let them. See, bad jobs are kind of like abusive girlfriends. They'll put you through the ringer and still ask for more. And when you basically try to call them out and all the toxic stuff they did, they'll make it seem like it was your fault. So yeah, don't let those jobs take advantage of you. Okay, when I go to the Iowa station, the damn thing wouldn't start, and the assistant manager had to turn the bell out to start the Iowa. Man. So of course, like the safety standards weren't up to snuff, right? Wait, facts to what? The terrible jobs being like an abusive girlfriend thing? Because if that's what you're saying facts to, then, hey, damn straight, you know what I'm saying? Got my third eye open. Got that third eye open, brother. Third eye open, brother, brother. Wait, hold on. Okay. I got that third eye open, brother. Hey, cool. Damn. I mean, that sucks. That really does suck. I hope I... Oh, speaking of which, I'm probably gonna have to. Any other stories? Because I don't know. Like, I think Broken Blade. Here's how my day went so far. I woke up, and the first thing I realized was like I was too stupid to realize it yet, but when I kind of had pink eye, and basically I figured it out when one of my kids asked me what was my eye red, and I went to the bathroom, and I saw my eye and it was red, and I was like, shit, I have pink eye. And so what I did was, as I was lining them up, I made sure that I kind of like stayed like a specific distance away from them, and whenever I would pass out snacks, I made sure that I washed my hands before, and then I immediately went to my boss or my assistant, like manager, and then she basically told me to, like go to a clinic, get that checked out right now, and I'm going to. I did get that checked. I got that checked out. I got the medicine. I just put it in my eye. Right now, I think probably gonna have to wake up and go to the clinic again to get some information paper, and then send it to my boss. So, yeah. But I feel like for the aluminum foundry, I mean, that job couldn't follow specific OSHA requirements. So I don't know. I feel like that's on them. Hey man, to that aluminum foundry job that you got. I mean, I don't know. It sucks to suck, man. Like, sucks to suck to the managers at the aluminum foundry. Like, get your shit together. Come on, man. Get your shit together. to suck to that aluminum foundry. Ah, no. Because they do suck. Damn. So wait, he was the gym to your hold on. The office. Oh, okay. So there's an office furniture factory that worked at some years ago that was extraordinarily toxic. One dude in particular spent most of the shift harassing and bullying me. Oh, so he was kind of like the Jim to your Dwight. He was just, kind of like just being a dickhead, bullying you, harassing you. Yeah, it's kind of, it's weird, to run people like that. It's like they haven't outgrown high school yet, despite the fact that it's been years. It's wild. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, it's like, why are you harassing me? It's like, we're in the same boat, okay? Working the same job. I mean, did you call HR? Did you I don't know, contact HR or something? Because at some point, if the harassing gets worse, that'd be my first move. Damn. After months of trash talking, he gets mad that I'm ignoring him, and he pokes me in the ribs. I have a snap at the guy, and he runs to the foreman. I mean, then again, it goes to show, it's all bark, no bite. The moment you stand up for yourself, he turns into a giant pussy. And let me guess, he snitched to the foreman about how you were acting, and then you got fired or shit canned? Yeah, I remember. I think one time in the middle, the foreman sides with him. See, I thought as much. Man, office politics, man, it sucks. See, I don't know. Here's your obviously your circumstances were different, but how I would handle office politics is I would just show up, get my work done, shut the fuck up, just shut the fuck up, and then not get involved with anything. Honestly, I almost made that mistake once. I'm glad I didn't do it. But sorry. Sorry about that. My sickness. It's my illness. It's beating the crap out of me. It's bullying me like your toxic coworker. Here's what I would I wouldn't even participate in talking shit about my boss. I would keep everything to myself. Honestly, when it comes to like when people were comparing like the assistant manager to like our manager, I immediately just backed out the conversation. I didn't want any part of it. I immediately was like, hey man, I'm Sweden. I'm the Netherlands. I'm neutral. I don't wanna. I want no part in this. You know. Damn. It kind of sucks that they always do this. Like it's a call. They don't. They don't have the balls to basically just fire you in person. It's always a call. Man. Fuck them. Alright. Think back to my story. Okay, so basically, I don't know what my mom was expecting me to learn when I was with my uncle, but I did witness him while on the job catcalling women on the street, which was wild to me because he has like a wife and a cousin, no, a wife and a kid. And as he was doing it, I would instinctually just hide myself from the woman. It's like, don't look at me. I didn't do it. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm not part of this. You know? I mean, yeah. It's like the moment he hawks his horn, I just froze up. It's like, come on, if you just sink further into the car seat, she won't see you. But granted, you know, I don't think I have much to say. Also, one of the men, like the coworker who was with my uncle, I'm pretty sure he kind of like tried to, you know, DM my other cousin, which was weird. It's odd, cause like she's like way younger than he was, which is a bit, you know, skeezy. Ah, crap! Come on. How do I take this? I don't want. Let's do. What do you mean there's no object to transform? You shall do my bidding. Okay. Yeah. I mean, normally I kind of take great offense to when, like, you know, people say men are trash. But, like, there are moments like these where it's like, okay, you know what? Fine. Yeah. Okay. I'll hand it to you. And the worst part, and like the weirdest part about this is that, you know, is that he shows up to the Thanksgiving party that my family's holding, and he's like with his wife and daughter, and he's like, you know, he's carrying on as if it didn't happen, and no one's talking about it. And I'm like, wow, this is wild. Super wild. Yep. And it's like, okay. I see why you choose the bear. Fair enough. But is the bear forklift certified? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, no, I'm not just kidding, But you know, yeah, it's wild. By the way, no hate towards my uncle. Like my uncle is legitimately like a caring person. Though he's not without his flaws. The man is a philanderer. He is a fornicator. He has, I think, around 6 children, each with different moms. Six baby mamas. Straight up. I don't know. I'm like, damn, teach me. You know, help me repeat the cycle, Theo. Like, nah, it's the 6. Yes. Our uncle is what you would call a sex player. You know, he's a player. Straight player. Yeah, I was kind of jealous. It's like, god damn it. Like, Theo, it's like, god damn it. Like, I want what you got, man. You got 6. You got 6 chicks. I can't even get one, Theo. I'm going out. I'm going out sad out here. This is going out sad here. Teach me. Be my Obi-Wan. And like right now he's married to my step aunt. I call her Thea. But like back when I was a kid, I had a huge crush on her. Like she was a very beautiful woman. Also, I'm pretty sure she had like a decent job. Like she was a bank teller. Not bank teller. She worked in like I think Wall Street or something. Which it's like, god damn, Theo. It's like they have like a nice place in Yonkers. It's like she has a Wall Street job, and he has like an okay, like a very small, some would say microscopic window repair business. Granted, he still gets clients, but I'm pretty sure, like, not to emasculate the man, because he's my uncle, and despite his numerous flaws, I still love him. But I don't know. I think I should give him a call. I feel like as if I'm neglecting the men in my life. And especially him. Yeah, dude's got it made. Not to mention, like, I think for the most part, he was very outgoing, very confident. You know? Like, he would, like, he would dance bachata like it was nobody's business. I mean, Christ almighty. I was jealous of his moves. I would constantly just look, I would, like, whenever he would dance with, like, Thea or my sister, or like fuck anybody, I would essentially kind of go out my own way to look at what his feet was doing, in the hopes that I would kind of like understand the moves that he was kind of putting down. And even then, it was like, no, I don't know, I can't. I'm gonna need some classes, because I feel like how Theo would like effortlessly like put himself out there. I feel like that's like kind of like the key. Also, like Theo's also like a very like handsome, muscular guy. So I feel like that's oh my god, that's something he's got that I need to. Yeah, I think like having two left feet yourself, it's like I feel like if you live in if you have a Latino family like me, it's like you kind of like you learn the basics of bachata music. Like you can like or merengue or salsa, like you can. It's like you were essentially raised in it, and so you kind of get it. But in the end, it's like that's not enough, and you still need classes. Because essentially, it's like it doesn't matter if you know the basic moves, especially when you're 7. It's like if you don't dance as often, it's not gonna stick. But yeah, yeah. I don't know, if I still have disposable income, one thing I would love to do is get into dancing classes. You know, knock on wood for luck. Why? Because like one, it's like you one, there's like women there, and I feel like if you kind of like if you're put in an environment where you have to interact with women, that has to be that has to at some point just destroy your social anxiety. And 2, you're in an environment where you're essentially kind of like, you know, you can suck, and it's okay to suck because you're here to learn. You know, you're not gonna be like, you know, you're not gonna be like, it's not gonna be like Dancing in the Stars or any of those like flamenco dancing contests. It's like, you know, you're here to learn, and you're gonna fuck up along the way. Also, I feel like in dancing, I don't know. In dancing, I feel like it doesn't exactly matter, like, what current gender politics might tell you, and I hope I don't come off as like anti-gay or anti-trans, but there is still kind of like a dominant role. Like you have to lead. And I feel like when it comes to dancing, I have trouble with that. You know, it's like you have to have the confidence to lead, you know, to lead the dance where you want it to go. Because I feel like, okay, so one night I was out with my cousin, all right? After essentially dancing in a club. And like also I think dancing in that club was my highlight, because essentially Like at first, I was super coming to the club. I was super nervous because I was afraid of like of of like ending up. Yeah, I was afraid of like ending up like like the guy in the corner of every dance where everyone else is dancing and having a good time, and I'm just in the corner with my hands on my junk, just just waiting, just like okay, I'll wait for a dance, I'll do it, you get in when I'm ready, and I don't, get in, and I end up just hating myself for it, and I just go full incel, just like nobody wants me, boo hoo, boo boo, that stuff. But nah, I decided it's like okay. I took a deep breath. I looked at a woman that was nearby. I counted up to 3, or like I counted my steps, and when I was there, I basically told her, "Would you like to dance?" And most of them said yes. And I was dancing with a lot of chicks, and my cousins were impressed. And my cousin Manny basically, texted this to my dad, and my dad was like, yes, like he texted back good, but deep inside, I like to think that it's like he was like, yes, my bloodline does not die with him. Yes, there's still a shot. There's still a shot. There's still a shot. Thank you, Lord. Basically, I was dancing with a lot of chicks, and then later on, like Manny was more like more like the social type, and he wanted like the fun times to keep on going, and so, yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also not funny. I mean, it's like I don't know, because like I never really had a girlfriend, and I feel like it's like whenever they would ask. I'd be like, come on. It's like, really? My life is not that interesting. Matter of fact, I think my mom would often like when I was like when my mom would like one night my shirt off, my mom would like look at my upper body and check for hickeys, and it's like, you're not gonna find any, Mom. It's not that, no. You're not gonna find any, Mom. It's like, you ever have parents where essentially they have that fear where you might get someone pregnant, and like deep down inside you're like, we both know that's not gonna happen. It's kind of like that. And now it's like, hey, and then okay, so basically back to the story. Sorry with the tangent. Okay, so we went to another club, and there was I talked to things happen, a couple kind of like went ham in the club. They were grinding super hard. And then I met a coworker, and then okay, the most exciting thing happened when like I was dancing with like I don't know. I'd love to call her a cougar. You know what? Let's indulge in my fantasies. I was dancing with a cougar. She was like in her 40s, and she looked amazing for someone in her 40s. It was great. And basically, after a couple times of like dancing with my cousin, she chose to dance with me for the rest of the night, which my cousin, kind of, was like, oh, wasn't exactly all that happy about. He was a good sport about it though. But it's like, I want to dance with her more, man. She was hot. And then basically throughout the dance, like she was a bit tipsy. Like I and I was kind of like, she was like, come on, man, lead. It's like lead, and it's like, you know, and like I was afraid of like, she was drunk, and I was afraid of, not being gentlemanly, and so I was very reserved, and I like had this like weird awkward smile as I was dancing with her, and like there was some point where like she would trip and fall, and I had to basically kind of like she'd hold on to my arms and like pull herself back up, and then at this point we danced like it was like the prom, where my hands were on her waist and her arms were on my shoulders. It was, yeah, it's like I had trouble leading, you know. And I didn't want to like walk out of there with like a case, you know. And also, she was kind of meh. Yes, exactly. Avoid allegations at all cost. Also, she was married, and I also wanted to be a gentleman on that. But my cousin, not so much. He shot his shot, and of course she turned him down because she was married, but still, he wanted to shoot the shot. And then from the night on, he kept on getting on my ass over how like I was doing two steps with this woman, especially when like Ride My Pony was on and I could like grind it on her, and I was like, she was drunk, man. Like I don't know. Also, it was like I didn't have the experience with this. I didn't have experience with like going out and going to clubs and dancing with women and grinding on strange women. Like I didn't, I have any. I don't have experience. I don't. What do I know about about bumping uglies in clubs? What do I know? But hey, okay. Never did that before. Never ever did that before. And I welcome that experience again. I'm not awkward when it comes to making friends. You gotta like, I don't know. Maybe I'm awkward with making friends too, and I don't realize it. But I feel like, okay, so one thing that I can do to make friends is that I show up to a place with people where people have like the same exact hobby as me, and that's when it becomes easy because essentially they see my work and they're impressed immediately, and they're like, wow, this your stuff's pretty good, and like we talk more, we hang out, I joke around, I make them laugh, things get easy. I feel like I lay it on a bit too thick, and that's when it gets too awkward, or I try too hard to be funny, and that's when it gets awkward. I feel like you gotta have that balance. It's the right place and the right balance. I want to go back there. I don't know. It's stupid, and it's delusional, and it's dumb rom-com thinking. You know, rom-coms are the bane of my existence. Rom-coms are retarded. And I could say that because I'm autistic, but like rom-coms are like, I feel like they're kind of like porn, but for women. But there's like no sex. Like there is sex, but they don't show it. They show it in tasteful ways. But essentially, it's like they're the worst. They're the worst. Like examples of like how a healthy relationship should work. And yet they're so fucking popular. But I want to go back to the Art Students League. I want to see if I want to see Athena again. Not cause I'm like in love with Athena, but because I want to get rejected. I want to like actually kind of like. I should have taken the leap. You know, I should have asked her out. Like, come up with the like. I should have like I don't know. Like it doesn't care that I don't care. It shouldn't matter that that she might reject me. I feel like I should do that because essentially it's like rejection is kind of like it's a big part of it. And I feel like if I just asked her out and wasn't cowardly and didn't just ruminate on her like I do all the other crushes in my life, then that's a positive step in the right direction. Yeah, exactly. That too. Self-fulfilling prophecy, man. I want to see Athena again so I can ask her out and get rejected and move on. So I'd have to ruminate on her. Or ruminate on this idea of her. Just move the fuck on. You know? Because so far, it's like I'm 25 years old. I'm a 25-year-old man. And like, I kind of find it's like a bit cringe that I have like these crushes on people. It's like, crushes. That thing that you had when you were like 12. I have a crush on the teacher. I have a crush on Selena. He started. Normally, it's like I thought she was fucking annoying, but then puberty set in and she started to grow tits, so I'm into her now. Like, no. Like, come on. No more crushes. Let that end. Just let that end now. I'm 25. It's like I'm willing to bet that back when I was this age, my grandmother, may God rest her caring and loving soul, already had like her 8th kid by then, and here I am in my parents' room talking about, oh, I have a crush. I have a crush. It's like, no, dude, just stop. Just let it end. And it's like the worst part is like it just persists. It just won't end. It's like, God. It's like I don't know if it's just me being a man whore, or just me being pathetic, or both. But I'm starting to like I have this weird thing where I have like crushes on a lot of people, and it's pathetic and it's annoying. Like, for example, there's this assistant manager at the neighboring after-school program next to the place that I work, called KidSpace. Dude, I have a massive crush on her, and of course she has a boyfriend, but it's like, it's like, dude, I don't know. A light-skinned Latina with curls, I don't know. Maybe I have a type. But yeah, no. And it's like this has to end. I like you. It's like, dude, you're pathetic. My grandfather had so many kids before I even reached 25. And even then, he probably moved on and remarried to my mom. No, married to my grandma. Dude, it was... It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. And then again, you know, you might be surprised at like my grandmother having 8 kids, but keep in mind, I come from the Dominican Republic. Thank you. I come from the Dominican Republic. You know, it's like it's a kind of like it's a bit of like an impoverished tropical country. The electricity would go off. There wasn't exactly much to do. So, you know, not to put my, my late grandmother's business out there, but, poor country, poor tropical country, not a lot to do except work, and when not a lot to do, it's like you can see why my family's so big. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everything wasn't about social sexual politics back then either. I mean, I don't know. I feel like. Oh, thank you. I feel like I don't know. It kind of wasn't, but I feel like I don't know. There were some aspects of like things that needed to be addressed, you know. it was simplistic, but it had blind spots. And I feel like if we have that mentality, I feel like it's kind of like an appeal to a time that will never come back, and we're gonna have to basically kind of like figure something out now. And that's often very scary because essentially we're contending now with problems that our parents and our grandparents have never had to deal with, especially when it comes to this realm. I mean, for example, one issue is, I think, that's kind of like that I feel is very impactful when it comes to family creation and dating is basically kind of like, yeah, there's no rational balance. And I feel like that's why the Liberals lost this election, which is sad for me because I voted for Kamala instead of Trump. I think one big issue that that affects men today is essentially I feel like a success, not I don't know, possibly a success imbalance maybe when it comes to it's like a lot of women are going, oh, we're the men, we're the eligible men, and it's like they're talking about basically men who earn as much as them, because a lot of women have went to college and they have basically they've kind of went for high paying skills, and there were dozens of programs that have encouraged them to do so. And meanwhile, it's a lot of men were kind of dropping out or dealing with depression or a lot of things that have interfered with their education, or they didn't exactly get the best run out of getting an education or a job, and now it's and it's one, it's they talk about feminists talk about basically getting rid of the gender roles, but it's there's still very much attached in a hypocritical manner, I might add, to the provider kind of role. They don't want to do that. They still want to do that, and it's I'd say fine. Also, I think there's one thing that I feel might hurt this, where it's so far, yeah, exactly. It's the way that technology is advancing, I'm not sure that these, first off, the degrees that you get, the job market out there is already fucking tough. But it's not only have there been a lot of layoffs, not only have there been a lot of downsizing due to fluctuations in the market or any of that bullshit. It's so far our government has done little towards the regulation of these large language models, or AI. And I feel the way it's advancing, it is soon to kind of contribute to the job displacement of many people. As a matter of fact, it's already affecting our education, because a lot of the kids who are using this AI are basically using it to just do the assignments that are just throwaway, that are basically meaningless to them. And it's like, in the midst of that, like, how is that gonna, like, in the midst of that, and like the overall kind of like frugality of like a college, of like a college education. I'm not saying that college isn't worth it. If you have an idea of what if you want to do, and if it guarantees you a stable check, then go for it. Do you agree? You think it's by design? I mean, yeah, I feel like it is by design because in the end, college is a business. They're not like an educational institution. They're a business, and they have shareholders to please. I mean, I feel like the I feel like it's the most like the most fucked up institution, because essentially it's like, you know, you're essentially going up to a 17-year-old kid who doesn't know shit about shit, and you're asking him, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And he for the life of him cannot decide. There's so many paths to choose, but he has to pick one. Give me a second, I have to wipe all the boogies from my upper lip. You know? And not to mention, it's like, it's been embedded in that kid's mind where it's like, you have to go to college to like, to succeed. But, it's like, sure, probably don't. Maybe you could, I don't know, take a trade job, go into construction for a while. You could do so many things. And I feel like the trades, strangely, they have a reliability to them. If you were a plumber and you have some clients, you make some pretty decent chunk of change. You know? I mean, or maybe like I don't know, maybe like you don't want to go to construction or plumbing. Well, if you want to get into say a more creative field, like say art, and of course you're not going to get it immediately. Probably gonna have to take like a job at an after school program, or maybe like a Staples, or maybe like I don't know, fold the clothes at the Sears or something, and like work on your craft in your downtime. maybe like I don't know, go to community college and experiment. Like what are some day jobs that you'd like to have while you try to make this happen, or make this like a viable option. It's like we're not given any also I feel like it's kind of archetypal where it's like it's kind of like the archetype of like the old king that at once was kind of like a fair ruler, but now he's old and he's a bit embittered and jaded, and there are many other options, or there are like dozens of changes out there, but he refuses to basically see them or contend with them, and he's basically stuck on this one system. And basically that kind of like stagnates them and makes them more stuck. I mean, I don't know. The one thing that I have for me is like, yeah, I went to college. So far, I'm not doing anything that has to do with my degree. I'm only doing it on the downtime. But I do have a job have a part-time job that I use for disposable income and for student loan payments. I do have disposable income that I can use to basically, invest into events, online classes, networking, stuff like that can get me in the face of like professionals in the industry that I want to get into. So far, my goals are a bit everywhere, and that's kind of concerning. I don't know. I don't think it's kind of concerning, but I think it's like I'm 25, you kind of stuck in his way to his great detriment. Yes. I don't really have any kids. I don't have a wife or a girlfriend, so I can use the disposable income that I do have to chase or pursue this. And I'm an adult, and no one can tell me otherwise. And I will hopefully keep doing it until I manage to make something happen. And if I do get someone pregnant along the way, hopefully before I turn the age of 30, then okay, I will go back to education and, I don't know, get like a IT degree or something. But right now, just trying to make this happen. question of time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Just a question of time. I don't know. I hope it's before I turn 30. Because at that point, I'm not sure. It's like, I'm kind of like, it's like when you're like, when you're in your 20s, you could be a moron. You can be an idiot. Because at that point, you're still figuring shit out in life. But like when you're 30, that's when people, are kind of like, hey, what's the plan, dog? What's going on? Where's your career, bitch? Where's your wife? Where's your kids? Have anything planned? And it's like, that's when the pressure really comes. And like Brad Rigney didn't like get his first art job until he was like 30, so I don't know. I'm trying to get there before that, for the big 3-0. And I feel like maybe the way I'm kind of acting about it is not exactly the best way to go. Not enough, too much Marvel Rivals, not enough studies. So maybe like I need to lay off that for a while. Too much Marvel Rival, not enough comic books, not enough portfolio pieces. All right. It is 1:08. I have to go to bed. I need my 8 hours because I have to go back to the clinic. Oh, do I have any of my work on DeviantArt or ArtStation? It should. You know what? Yeah, I do. I do. Broken Blade. Do you want like links to my Instagram and ArtStation? Because I'll give it to you. As a matter of fact, you know what? Okay. Here it is. You know, maybe I should like, on the beginning of every stream, I should just put this in the chat, just so people know or want to follow. Then ArtStation. Okay, where's my Instagram? Oh boy, so many links, bruv. Here you go. Okay, so I got them in the I got them in the chat. Follow if you want to. You can scroll. You can look through my work. Matter of fact, I also have. If you want direct access to my portfolio, here you go. Broken Blade, do me a favor. Follow me. Follow me on both those platforms. Follow me on Instagram and ArtStation. Help a brother out. Help a bro out. Also like this video. I hope it's not asking for too much, but thank you. Thank you. You're a true friend, Broken Blade. You know, if you were accused, if you murdered someone, I would not turn you in. Nice. Thank you. You're a true friend, man. If you killed somebody, I wouldn't tell anyone. If the law came to me and questioned me, bro, I'd stay silent. Even in the face of KFC or Popeyes. They need IKEA food to break me. Yeah, but in the end, this must come to a close. This must end. And I am tired. And I'm sick, as you can hear from my coughs. And I need all the 8 hours that I can get. So I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a stream. And I hope you liked it. Because I did. Alright.